Well, hello and welcome to our 2-Minute EBB Challenge for this week. This week we're going to be talking about diet and depression. We all know that there's physical benefits that come from having a balanced diet. Now we're starting to find out there's actually mental health benefits that come from having a balanced diet. This week's talk is part of our 2-Minute EBP Challenge. If you go to our website, you can sign up to get the 2-Minute EBP Challenge for free in your inbox. Every Friday, an email comes out with a question, and on Monday, we send you the answer to that question. As the name implies, you need to be able to do this in 2 minutes and stay up to date with evidence-based practice. If you'd like to become part of it, please go to edfornurses.com, and you can sign up right there on the home page. Now, what we're talking about today is we're talking about diet. And we're talking about some of the differences here between the typical American diet and maybe what a recommended diet would be. Now, we know that there's physical reasons why we'd want to have a good diet rather than having a diet that's high in processed food and refined foods and saturated fats. Obviously, some of the physical reasons would be because those are typically high in fat, they're typically high-calorie kind of meals, and it leads to obesity. It also leads to atherosclerotic disease and high blood pressure and all sorts of other diseases that can happen to the physical body. What we've also found out, though, is that there are mental health benefits to having a balanced diet. I wonder if these two things don't kind of go hand in hand. The more processed, refined, and saturated fats we eat, the more there tends to be depression, and it may be that eating is then the cure for that depression. So maybe this is a cycle that is going on in our society that leads to more eating of processed, refined foods and saturated fats. Just a thought, there hasn't been any research to validate that. So our recommended diet is coming from the USDA, and what they're recommending here is this idea of the MyPlate. Now, if you take a look at the diagram, it's illustrating that we're breaking our plate up into different sections, and we're having a certain amount of stuff in each section. So rather than saying, well, you have to eat 4 servings of vegetables each day and things like that, rather than doing that, what they've done is to just say, okay, when you fill your plate with food, fill it in this way. So arrange your food and fill your plate in this way so that you're having this amount of foodstuffs with each meal. So choosemyplate.gov, you can find out more about this, get these illustrations, etc. if you'd like, and you can get a lot of more detail there. But let's talk about what the detail is and what each one of these things mean. First of all, notice from the diagram that the biggest percentage, the biggest area on the plate is covered by vegetables. So that's going to be one of the big areas. Then another large area is fruits. Notice together, fruits and vegetables make up half of the plate. So we're supposed to have half the plate be fruits and vegetables, only a quarter be protein, and about a quarter be grains. And then we're going to have a little bit over there for dairy. So building our healthy plate, we want to make half the plate fruit and vegetables. We want to switch to skim milk or 1% milk. Make at least half of your grains whole. Most people in the United States eat enough grains. The problem is we don't eat enough whole grains. And instead what happens is we eat a lot of stuff that is processed type of grains. Vary your protein choices. Again, you know, the meat and vegetables kind of guy or meat and potato kind of guy may want to have lots of red meat and potatoes. Again, vary your protein choices. That could include some chicken, it could include turkey, it could include fish, and we want to have those things included in our diet on a regular basis. Especially fish, we're finding out more and more that we need to have those fish oils in our diet in order for heart protection, brain protection, etc. So we need to have those fish oils. If you don't eat fish on a regular basis in your diet, it'd probably be a good idea to take a fish oil supplement, something you might want to talk to your internal medicine doctor about. Cut back on foods that are high in solid fats, added sugars, and salt. Okay, so this is something we've all heard before. This is kind of the mantra that we've heard about our diets in the past. I know this can be difficult. And when you look at these suggestions right here and you think, oh my gosh, I have to change my entire diet. Wow, this sounds really difficult. Start with one thing. What I found successful for myself is I started with just one thing and said, okay, instead of having lunch, I'm going to have a salad instead of my normal lunch. So I would change to a salad for lunch instead of a sandwich or some other things for, so think about one thing you could do here to start going in the right direction. Now, once you've made that change, then you can make another little change. The next time you go to the grocery store, instead of buying whole milk or 2% milk, now I was raised on 2% milk, so, that's kind of where I come from. And to have to switch to skim or 1% was a big change initially. And then you get used to it. Okay, so just take one change at a time. If you try to jump in with both feet on this, chances are, unless you're really super motivated, you're probably going to revert back to your old diet. So take it a little bit at a time. But there's good reasons for doing this. Not only the physical reasons, because it decreases atherosclerotic disease, decreases blood pressure, decreases obesity, but also mental health reasons. What they found out in the study that we're talking about today is that the greater the amount of processed and refined foods, the lower the mental health. So there was a direct correlation with the amount of processed and refined foods we ate and how our mental health was. So in the study, they found that a healthy diet decreased depression, anxiety, and major depression by 30%. Wow, that's pretty significant. So even if you're just feeling a little blue and you don't actually have clinical depression, probably a healthy diet would be helpful. Now, one of the ones I really wanted to point out to us, to our group here, is the anxiety. Okay, nursing is a very stressful profession. And a lot of times what happens is we get so busy that we start eating a lot of fast food. That's probably not going to help our anxiety at work a whole lot. So switching to a healthy diet, bringing healthy food choices to work with you, is probably going to help you to feel more comfortable when you're at work and you're under a lot of stress. An unhealthy diet, on the other hand, increased depression by 50%. So when they looked at patients who switched their diet from a healthy diet to unhealthy diets, and maybe, when you took that new job and you didn't have as much time on your hands and you started having to stop at McDonald's a few more times a week and you started eating a lot more processed food, that increased depression by 50% in their study. Wow. Well, the comic says, would you like to sample on antidepressants or brighten your day a bit? Free antidepressant, ma'am. Okay. So they're giving out antidepressants to people walking by in the drugstore. Well, we can be good role models by having good eating habits. And, part of this idea with using antidepressants are only effective in about 30% of the population. So we certainly want to take advantage of the fact that diet can improve mental health, because a lot of times people are not helped by their antidepressants. And certainly maybe the combination of changing to a healthy diet and having the antidepressant could be a very good combination for your patients. We need to be good role models by modeling good eating habits. We'd also reap the mental health benefits, which would be very helpful in a stressful profession like nursing. Now, if you'd like to find out more about this article, you can retrieve it here. It is from Psychosomatic Medicine by Dr. Jacka and Associates. I want to thank you for joining me this week for our 2-Minute EBP Challenge, and I hope that you'll think about your diet in the week coming ahead and start thinking about making some better food choices so that you can help to decrease your anxiety and probably improve your mood considerably. Thanks for joining me this week. My name is David Woodruff. I'm the president of Ed for Nurses, where we empower nurses to become extraordinary. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, bye now.